So let's have a conversation about the root cause of cognitive dissonance in the Black community. This has been on my mind and on my heart. I feel like cognitive dissonance is the Black community's biggest mental health crises. And sometimes I used to think that it was depression. I thought that most people were suffering with anxiety and really like trauma. But essentially, the silent epidemic is the internal conflict of knowing better but not feeling safe enough to be better. It's that constant split between what we know versus what we've been conditioned, between who we are versus what we're expected to perform. Like there's always this thought that we have to be a certain way instead of just being ourselves, because we don't even really be knowing ourselves, because there's this split. It's the constant split between the truth of our spirit whispers, and our spirit be whispering. We got to listen. We have to really listen to it, versus that survival patterns that have been embedded in us through our lineages. And all of that is just cognitive dissonance. It has been eating us alive because we don't even really be noticing how we're operating from these contradictions on a daily basis. And it hits Black people the most deeply because we've been forced to justify oppression and still find some pride in our resilience. You know, we Black power. Even though there are things that has to bring justice, needs to be brought to justice. We've been forced to love our families and pretend that the childhood wounds really don't exist. We've been forced to stay strong and hide every single emotion that would actually help us heal. We don't face them. We've been forced to seek success and fear being seen at the same time. These are contradictions. And even this one really is what got me on this topic in my mind and to have this conversation, is when we want community, like we're really craving and desiring to have connection, but we don't trust anybody. Like, how do those things coexist? We've been asked to function in these systems that were not even designed for our wholeness, while simultaneously being told to be grateful and be positive. Like, this the main one, when they be like, our ancestors fought for us to vote. And I get that. We do want to honor our ancestors, but we're fighting, and they fought very hard to function in a system that was not designed for us. And we're paying for that today. And it has created a split in the psyche, a spiritual glitch, a soul conflict. And our nervous system is weakening due to these contradictions. It's created a mental burden that we don't even have a full language for. And here are a few examples of how that cognitive dissonance is showing up. This main one. Okay. I love to just rest. Everybody want to be in a soft girl era, but then feel guilty every time you slow down, every time you take a break, every time you take a nap. You feel guilty. There's something you should be doing, but you love resting. You want to be soft. You want to be, more of an easeful life. You want to have generational wealth, but you don't trust the systems or collaboration enough to really build it. That's cognitive dissonance. I'm spiritual, but I don't practice the self-care habits my spirit needs. How are you spiritual if you don't care for your spirit? I want freedom, but I'm scared to be different from my family or the environment around me. Freedom has no bounds. And most people are bound. So you're gonna have to be different. So when we're dealing with things like this, it's deeper than just trauma. It's the mental gymnastics of holding two opposite truths and pretending that it's normal. And the real kicker is that cognitive dissonance shows up the loudest when we start healing. This is the real thing. This the part. Like, you start healing because you wanna heal. And those things require you to release certain identities that you were once praised for. It requires you to confront the actions that are normalized. Healing requires that you admit that your coping mechanisms were really just survival and not truly alignment. When you're healing, it requires you to reparent yourself in a way where you wasn't even shown this. This is when it starts showing up really loud. When you start unlearning the loyalty to pain. This healing requires truth. But truth threatens the survival version of us. And that's resistance. That's cognitive dissonance fighting for its life. When we start feeling all of this and it's like, okay, I want to heal. I want to be different. I want a new life. I want to be successful. I want healthy relationships, but I'm not able to release the hold on that old version. And it's difficult. Not because we're broken or because we can't do it. It's hard because our spirits are craving this evolution. But our environments have made our nervous system a lot more anticipative of dangers. Like that, our nervous systems have been so jammed up and so like traumatized. That's where the first layer of the trauma comes in, that we then get stuck in those survival ways, and it's hard to see them in front of our face. So we just rather just stay split, and that split becomes the sickness and the illness and the dis-ease. And the work isn't as simple as some affirmations or being more productive or hustling more, making more money, or being more positive. It really, the hardest part, I always say, the hardest thing you'll ever do is be yourself. And in order to be yourself, you have to integrate. You cannot split up. You cannot remain split. You have to get your mind, your body, and your spirit, and your lifestyle all on the same page. And that's so difficult because our mind and our bodies always sometimes seem to be at war. Our mind get to thinking all of these things, but then we're doing something else. Our lifestyles not really reflecting our spiritual aspect. Now try to sit up and get all four of these things on the same page. That's the work. That's integration. And that's the boogeyman to most black people. But that's how you get your life in order. That's literally how you get your life in order. And that's what we do at Gileo. That's the whole premise. Because alignment immediately dissolves dissonance. When your identity, who you know yourself to be, when your habits, what you do because you know yourself, your values, what you stand on, your business, your environment, your energy, your relationships, and your systems all match. That's when your spirit can finally exhale. But that requires a deep level of work that sometimes I know we just really don't be trying to do. We really don't try to do. So I asked the question, how do we actually resolve this dissonance? Because I could say all of what needs to be done. Yeah, we need to get our mind, our body, our spirit, our life all in alignment. But how? How, Craig? Was it how, Craig? Is it Craig? It says how. No. How, Sway? Who's Sway? Okay. And the answer, first, okay. First, I want to speak to let's get a little bit deeper on the root causes, okay? The root causes of this. Then we can go into how to actually resolve this dissonance in real practical ways, because that's what to get our life in order, we got to keep it practical, okay? That's what order brings. It requires practicality. So, no, the answer is not just go to therapy, because if that was the answer, a lot more people would be in alignment, and more people are not, even though we are on a rise of people getting therapy and people searching their spiritual aspects and people eating healthier, wanting a more healthy lifestyle. Those things are on a rise, and I'm so proud and I'm so grateful for that, but they have to be in alignment. So let's just get a little deeper on some root causes of cognitive dissonance in the Black community. First, one root, because the only way that we can even get to the resolutions, if we do actually get to the deep root of it, we can get surface level, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to get deep. So one main root cause of this is our survival becoming our culture. When people of color think of our culture, is mostly connected to survival. So for generations, our people didn't get to choose authenticity. They had to choose survival. And when survival becomes the priority, the nervous system learns, don't rock the boat. Don't be vulnerable. Stay small, stay safe. Function even when you're hurting, because you gotta survive. You gotta survive. But when your survival becomes your whole personality, you lose the ability to even trust your own truth, because the truth isn't always connected to just surviving. Like, the truth will sometimes threaten the survival of your survival. And that internal split between who you are and who you had to become creates the foundation of cognitive dissonance. We also inherited these contradictions and never resolved them. Like right now today, we can say that a lot of this stuff was passed down. It was passed down to us to not speak our minds. It was passed down to us, and it was told to us, okay, they want us to speak our mind, but don't talk back. You know what I'm saying? These are common threads that are in our community, and that has been creating this culture of the split mentality, split within. They say, be strong, but also, why are you so cold? That's the main one for the Black woman. They be like, be strong, we ain't got no choice but to be strong, but then want to be asking, why the hell you so cold, why you so hard, why you can't be softer? But I'm strong. How do you do both? How? Sway? So let's hop right back into how to actually resolve cognitive dissonance, because just meditate is real fluffy. Just do the thing that's really hard, it is. So here are a few integration practices that bring your mind, your body, and your spirit onto the same page, because that's ultimately what we're experiencing right now. Your mind is wanting to do the thing. Your mind wants to make a change in your life. You want to get to the gym, get healthier. Your mind wants to get a new job. Your mind wants to do these things. But your body is sitting there holding on to the resistance. Okay, so the first step, tell yourself the truth out loud. Tell yourself the truth out loud, because cognitive dissonance lives in the silence. Even just naming the contradiction helps. Like, for instance, I say I want peace, but I'm still choosing chaos because it feels familiar. That's brings clarity. That brings 50% of the healing. Clarity is 50% of our healing. So just telling yourself the truth out loud resolves partial contradiction, because now you've named it, okay? Then you have to choose one identity and align your actions with it. Not 10 of them, not 5 of them, not I'm acting as the future me, because you're not that completely. You just have to pick one clear identity. I want a new job that honors my time and pays this. That's one identity. When I have a new job that pays this. Get that clear identity. I am someone who speaks my truth. If that contradicts what you're already experiencing. I am someone who honors my body by going to the gym. Pick that identity, but just choose one, and then take that one aligned action a day. If today you chose it to be going to the gym, where did even the resume come up? Who the hell said anything about a resume today?
Me for an example in the recording.
You say act like I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Oh, well, yeah.
So
That was just 2 things.
yeah, but it says just pick one though. But that's important. That's why that's the second step, to choose one, not 10, not 2, not 5. 1. And because you decided to pick one and then pick up another one, that was your way of getting out of the first one. Because that's a cute idea. That's a great idea for tomorrow.
That's what I did yesterday while cooking.
So let's continue, because you can still got the opportunity to choose which one, because you're not going to do both, but you also should not do neither. So right now you can pick one and commit to it.
It shouldn't take me this long.
It don't matter about it. It is though. It's taking you this long. It took you 25 years to get here. Okay, so let's go deeper. Next, we have a live audience here, guys. You're not the only ones listening. I hope this does help someone, but we're going to continue. The third step to resolving this is to break the loyalty contract with your old self. Say this with me. I can honor where I came from without living by the rules I inherited. And then get your pen, your paper, and write this down. The expectations you were raised with, the beliefs that don't fit your life anymore, and the energies you're done performing. Write those down and then release them intentionally. Because remember, the key thing is to identifying and getting clarity. Okay, so we're gonna break the loyalty contracts with this old self. We must identify the expectations that we were raised with that are continuing to be contractually withheld. We must break the beliefs that don't fit our life anymore, because that old self, those beliefs might have fit during that time. It got you here, but it just does not fit anymore. And we got to identify what those are so that we can release them. And we also have to write down and identify the energies that you're done performing. Like, we know when we're performing certain things. It's a difference between being and just doing things and performing something. And you can feel that difference. Okay, so this is where ritual and self-care practice becomes functional. Okay, this is a ritual that you're doing. This is a self-care practice, and it sounds remedial, it might sound minute, but there's a reason why some of y'all that's listening ain't picked up a goddamn pen and wrote the shit down yet. People that's listening in the audience or virtually, because that old self contract is deep, it's hard. It takes rituals, magic, alchemy, work, practice. It does. It takes that, because we get into the nitty gritty here, because this is where the actual actions, because it's all sound fun, the fluff to say, talk about the cognitive dissonance and all of what we already know that we doing. The shit we ain't getting where we want to go. It sounds fun to keep talking about that, but now let's talk about what we can do to get the fuck up out of it. And I'm talking to me too. I'm a part of the audience. That's why I'm talking about this. Because building a life that matches your energy is hard. Because cognitive dissonance, it hits its peak. It really skyrockets when your lifestyle is in contradiction to your true energy. If you have not identified your energy type, this really has helped me. If you haven't identified what your energy type is, meaning that you know that you're a manifester and you might be feeling trapped. Generators might feel drained. Projectors might feel bitter. Manifesting generators feel chaotic. Reflectors feel overwhelmed when your lifestyle is contradicting your design. But if you don't already know your design and you have not built a life that is in alignment with that, those are the feelings that come up as indicators of this. Okay? And your body and your spirit is telling you this. And it's something that you have to actively do. Okay? So, the last couple things is give your nervous system evidence that the new identity is safe. Okay? This is where most people fail, because you cannot think your way out of dissonance. You really have to experience safety. Your body has gotten lots of evidence that there's something to be scared of that is unsafe. Your nervous system has years and years of evidence of things to flee, to flight, to fear. You have to allow your nervous system to experience safety. And ways that you can actively do this is, here are a few examples. Resting for 20 minutes. Your body will learn that rest won't kill you. Just in 20 minutes increments, doing nothing. That's where meditation, these are practices that help give your body evidence, give your nervous system evidence that it's okay to be safe. Another way is by telling someone, I need space, or no. That's your body learning boundaries don't equal danger. Be honest in conversations. Teach your body that truth does not equal punishment. Take a day off. Teach your body that slowing down won't collapse everything. Safety is learned, it's not imagined. The next couple are very important. You really have to stop trying to heal alone. Cognitive dissonance grows in isolation because the mind continues to loop and question itself, and you don't have any mirrors or reflections to navigate you or push you out of that loop. Community, education, guidance, mentorship, those things mirror the parts of you that you're scared to believe in yourself. They'll help you affirm your growth enough for your nervous system to accept those changes. That's why I have the Healing Energy and Arts Academy that helps accelerate your healing connection through reminders, constant reminders, because like I said, we've been constantly reminded of ways in which we need to split. We need to be fearful. We need reminders of safety. You have to replace your performance with presence. I've been so grateful in this point in my life to be present. That's why I was present enough with myself to even record this conversation and these thoughts, because I know that I can't really perform this type of level of healing. I have to be present in this space. The more you perform that you are the strong one, that you are the healer, that you're the reliable one, that you're unbothered, you're an overachiever, all of these are performances at some point. Sometimes you can be the strong one. Sometimes you are the healer. Sometimes you are reliable. You know what I'm saying? But once you feel like you are performing, that's the more dissonance that you create. You really have to pause throughout the day and ask yourself, what do I actually feel right now? This alone rewires your entire emotional system and helps you then practice congruence. This is very important. Congruence means that you're the same inside as you are on the outside. So that means that you have to say what you mean. Do what you say. Don't agree to things you resent. I really have to practice that one. I really do. Stop agreeing to things that you will eventually resent. And stop living on auto sacrifice. You know, when we perform instead of being present, we sometimes get into that auto sacrifice loop. So, if you don't want it, stop pretending. You do not need to be perfect. You just have to be consistent and practice congruence. And last but not least, because this has been a lot, I know. Breathe with me. Integrate your soul and your strategy That is literally our entire mission with Gileo, because most people have spiritual insight, but they don't have structure. Or they have structure, but no spiritual connection. But when you pair intuition, alignment, daily rhythms, systems, embodiment, the dissonance finally dissolves and your life stops being a fight against itself. So that's my thoughts and my notes and my input on the cognitive dissonance that is plaguing the Black community, and how I really want to add my energy to healing it. And if you would like to get support with yourself and your healing journey, join the community. Buy some products from Once Inc. ShopOnceInc.com. And if you are wanting to embody the full lifestyle, book a consultation at GilioConsulting.com. That's GYLIO. Get your life in order. Peace.